All right, look, I know my office is still a mess, okay? Just disregard that part, okay? Look, I just moved like a month and a half ago, okay? Give me some time to settle in. This is a Bachelorette recap from a guy. Today's episode of the Bachelorette recap is brought to you by the word manipulation.
The one thing Thomas has proven is that he's good at manipulating.
Manipulative behavior.
I think he's manipulated everyone here.
Very manipulative.
Thomas has proven that he's manipulative.
Of this guy that's, very manipulative.
I think he can manipulate Katie, at least to a certain extent.
But when he's using words like manipulation.
Maybe this guy is a little bit better at manipulation than I thought he was.
He manipulated my emotions.
Webster's dictionary defines the word manipulation as the action of manipulating something in a skillful manner, or the action of manipulating someone in a clever or unscrupulous way. Unscrupulous. Let's look up the definition of unscrupulous. Unscrupulous, having or showing no moral principles, not honest or fair. Today's episode is brought to you by the word manipulation, which was said no less than 348 times in the episode.
Manipulating.
Manipulative.
Manipulative. Manipulated.
Manipulative.
Manipulate.
Manipulative.
Manipulation.
Manipulation.
Manipulated.
So we pick up where we left off last week with just every single guy pissed off at Thomas for actually admitting to coming on the show, wanting to be the Bachelor, and or up his Instagram followers. As if every single guy there wasn't already there for those reasons. No, this episode started off with the guys being holier than thou. The Bachelor? The Bachelor? Psst, what? Yeah, like that thought never even crossed my mind. We're talking about it right now and it's still not crossing my mind, bro. This guy wanted to be the Bachelor? I don't even know what The Bachelor is. What's The Bachelor? Dude, all I care about is Katie, okay? I'm here for the right reasons. The Bachelor, what even is The Bachelor, you know? The dude came on here to up his Instagram following? Dude, I don't even know my own Instagram account, all right? Like, I think it's something like @AaronToughGuy. That's Aaron, Aaron, and then Tough Guy just spelled out exactly how it's said. But yeah, I don't even know my account. Look, you want me to start off this recap with a hot take? Thomas might be the most honest guy in the entire house. Thomas might be the most honest guy in the history of this franchise. At least he admitted to coming on the show to up his follower count and maybe parlay that into The Bachelor. That's literally why every guy goes on this show. Like, I'm pretty sure during this episode, I talked myself into becoming #Team Thomas. And like, even when he was called out for it, he went about cleaning up the entire mess the right way. He was honest with the guys up front. He apologized. He told them that he was there for Katie. He then told Katie about the whole thing. And then at the rose ceremony, he apologized again. But yeah, that douchebag's only there for exposure. If you were really interested in love, you wouldn't go on a reality dating show where you could get attached to someone and then kicked off within a couple of weeks. Call me old-fashioned, but... So then we got our first group date, and it was wacky and wild. It was like an episode of Wild and Crazy Kids.
Welcome to Wild and Crazy Kids! The show that goes anywhere and does anything to find kids having fun!
Mixed with truth or dare. They just had to run around and answer questions or do crazy dares. The Big Verge had to eat 5,400 calories worth of Twinkies, which I can only imagine is scarier to him than having sex. It was a pretty lame group date, to be honest with you. But later that night, Andrew and Trey actually kind of got into a little bit of a squirple. Squirple? Is that a word? Squirble. Squirmish. Squirp. They got into a fight. It was a fight over whether or not Trey should tell Katie about Thomas and the fact that he admitted to wanting to be the Bachelor. Andrew, who has clearly seen a number of these episodes, knows that you don't bring the house drama to the Bachelorette.
Like, I heard her at the rose ceremony say trust her, and I'm going to trust her.
And Trey, who has clearly never seen this show, was like, no, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
I also heard her say, tell her when you see things.
And he did.
I just want to let you know of someone who we feel like maybe is not here for you. And I feel like that's Thomas. He basically had to be asked several times, hey man, when you came out here, was your intention to be the Bachelor? And he said, yes. When I came out here, I wanted to be the Bachelor.
So Trey goes and tells her, and when he comes back, Andrew calls him Buzz Killington.
Cool.
This dude over here, man, this is unreal, bro. Kill a whole vibe. Buzz Killington.
Which I thought was pretty funny. Don't get a whole lot of Buzz Killington references on The Bachelorette.
But so far, you're a bigger buzzkill than Buzz Killington. Oh, man, this is the best party I've ever been to.
Evening, everyone. I thought it would be very droll if we all sat down and looked at etchings. Would you like to join me, Peter?
Well, we're kind of partying here.
Good. good.
But then Trey actually gets the rose, meaning Katie really appreciated the fact that he brought the drama to her, which, if you think back to the James season, is essentially what she did with Matt James. So maybe she just appreciates that tactic.
It would probably be a good time to address some of the bullying that's kind of been happening in the house. And it's hard for me to keep trying to stand up for these women when we have this like mob mentality.
Right.
So obviously Katie's distraught, and while she's trying to get over this news, ABC is like, we're going to give her space, kind of let this storm pass over. Oh, no, wait. No, we're not. We're going to stir the pot even more by entering a new guy, Blake. Now, if you're wondering who Blake is, join the club. I honestly don't know either. I think he was on Tayshia's season. I don't know. I didn't watch that season, mainly because it was weird and it was during football season. So the only thing I know about Blake is that he looks like every single Avenger rolled into one person. Seriously. Like, look at this dude. Are you kidding me right now? Which Marvel and ABC are both owned by Disney. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Open your eyes, sheeple. Stay woke out there. So he shows up and asks to join the show.
I wish that I could have met you in another circumstance. Like, this is the last place I want to do this. There's the risk in this going terribly, me looking like a complete idiot, is high. But the reward is so much greater than that risk for me.
And look, I'll say it if no one else will. He's probably there to be the next Bachelor. We call this move the Nick Viall, where you get voted off one season, you show up late to the next, and eventually you become the Bachelor. And if he's successful, then he'll probably make cameos in every single episode for the rest of time. But he probably won't admit that. And sure, Thomas is still the bad guy here. Hashtag Team Thomas. No. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he's there for Katie. Of course, guys who show up in the middle of the season demanding all of the attention are always there for the right reasons and not for the exposure that he's going to get by having entire episode story arcs surrounding around him.
You're a troublemaker. I'm going to say that
But
first.
you know what? That could be a really good thing. It could be.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, he's an Avenger. Now it's time for the rose ceremony. But before we got to the rose ceremony, Thomas pulls Katie aside, while of course wearing a red blazer to match the red flags he's been throwing up all season. So he talks to Katie and basically comes clean, gives his side of the story for the first time.
They said, did you ever think of a possibility you could be the next Bachelor? And I didn't hesitate, and I said yes. I went on the show open for anything, and one of the possibilities of anything is that I can be the next Bachelor. And I don't think it's equally as crazy to believe that you could go into something like this and fall in love.
And then he has to go face the music by showing up to the other guys. And when he does, he immediately tells them exactly what he did. And the guys are like, I don't believe you, bro. How do we know you said that? How do we know a conversation even happened? How do we even know any of us are real? I mean, what if Thomas's biggest manipulation was manipulating the other guys into thinking he was manipulative? Whoa. I mean, look, do I think Thomas lied? Yes. Do I think everything he says is a lie? No. Have I been manipulated by him? Oh my gosh. Have I been manipulated by him? All I'm saying is after all of this, what would be really funny is if ABC made Thomas the next Bachelor. So that night at the rose ceremony, it gets down to the final rose. And Katie, of course, as we all would have predicted, picks Thomas.
Thomas?
What is going on? My jaw was on the floor. Like, is this actually happening?
Seriously? I am literally in a state of shock at this point.
Maybe this guy is a little bit better at manipulation than I thought he was.
But then she pulls the old rope-a-dope and says, psych!
You told me things I wanted to hear. But what I learned about you tonight is you're selfish, unkind, and a liar. Your Bachelor audition ends tonight.
Thomas. Psych? Go home, bitch.
So get out.
Look, I like Katie, but this whole move was pretty lame. Like, if you're gonna send the guy home, just send him home. Don't do the whole dog and pony show. Like, don't make a mockery of it. It was like she was performing.
You don't get to use me as your stepping stone to whatever your goal is. Not here, not today, not tonight, not ever.
Your Bachelor audition ends tonight.
Your Bachelor audition ends tonight.
It's like, come on. And this isn't just because I'm Team Thomas. Like, if she would have done this to anyone, I think that's more rude than literally anything Thomas has done this entire season. Think about it. He hasn't done anything that bad. All he did was be truthful and honest that, yeah, I came onto this show because I thought it could maybe lead to me becoming the Bachelor. Think about it. Only 1 in 30 guys ends up winning this whole thing. So that's 29 other dudes that have futures that are not with the female on the show.
I did not know you. None of those guys can sit there and say that that wasn't a thought going into this.
I can say confidently there.
Not everybody.
No, let me talk.
That, yeah.
My man's just looking out for himself. And the worst part about all of this was she didn't even give Thomas his rose to any of the remaining dudes. Meaning, not only did she send Thomas home, but she also sent home Judge Reinhold. My man went from Fast Times to Beverly Hills Cop to being the stepdad in Santa Claus to getting the boot on episode 4 of Katie's season of The Bachelorette. More like sad times at Ridgemont High. No, she instead took the rose and went up to offer it to Blake in his hotel room, to which Blake answered the door naked, I guess.
Are you naked?
I was not expecting you at all, for real.
Like, who answers a hotel room door naked? Like, who's he expecting it to be to where he's like, oh yeah, I can answer this door naked? And like, what was he doing naked in the first place? Like, does he sleep naked? Was he doing a little midnight naked yoga sesh? That right there is Blake's first red flag. The guy answers the door naked. So Blake's on the show now. Unbelievable. I mean, we haven't seen a decision this bad since ABC greenlit the celebrity dating game.
Mystery celebrity! Mystery celebrity!
Look, all I'm asking is, can we please keep a villain on the show for more than one episode at a time? Every episode, it's a new villain. Every episode, that villain gets sent home. Do you realize how hard that makes it to do these recaps? What if Thomas's biggest manipulation was manipulating the guys into thinking he was manipulative? What if Thomas's biggest manipulation was manipulating the other guys into thinking he was manipulative? Have I been manipulated? Have I been manipulated by Unique New York? Have I been manipulated? Have I been manipulated by him? Have I been manipulated by him?